Title: Everyone thought he was truly sent by God, not knowing he was a fake pastor. Opening scene. Setting: a quiet village called Aquama, known for its deep-rooted faith and trust in men of God. The villagers had always believed in divine intervention. When Prophet Ezekiel arrived, dressed in a flowing white robe with a thick, mysterious Bible in hand, his words carried a weight that made even the hardest skeptics tremble. "I am a man sent by God," he declared one fateful evening during a powerful crusade at the village square. "I have come to heal, to deliver, and to bring prosperity." His voice, deep and commanding, sent chills down spines. People whispered among themselves, "Could this be the man we've been waiting for?" Miracles soon followed, or so it seemed. A blind woman claimed she could see after he laid hands on her. A crippled man walked after his prayers. Word spread fast. The chief of Aquama, an elderly but strong-willed man, summoned him to the palace. "If truly you are from God, then let your presence bring peace and prosperity to our land," the chief said, studying him with skeptical eyes. Prophet Ezekiel smiled. "Your Highness, have no fear. The Lord has sent me to break all curses upon this land." Little did they know, they had welcomed the greatest deceiver they had ever seen. The rise of the prophet. Weeks passed, and the prophet's influence grew. He declared a holy revival week, urging everyone to donate whatever they could to God's work. Villagers sold their lands, cattle, and even precious family heirlooms to give offerings. Ezekiel's pockets grew fat. Strange happenings followed. Each night, eerie sounds echoed from the hills where he prayed. Some said they saw dark shadows moving behind him. Others felt a cold presence in the air. But the real turning point came when a widow named Mama Ife, desperate to save her sick son, visited him. "Man of God, please pray for my son. He is dying," she cried, holding the frail boy. Ezekiel placed a hand on the boy's forehead, muttering strange words. "God has spoken," he announced. "To save your son, you must bring a sacrifice, your most valued possession." With trembling hands, Mama Ife handed over her last bag of gold, her only inheritance from her late husband. Ezekiel smirked. "Your faith will save your child," he said. The boy died that night. The unraveling. Whispers began. How could a prophet fail? Why did God not save the boy? More people started questioning the so-called miracles. One fateful night, a young hunter named Chi Jiok, a firm believer in truth, followed the prophet secretly into the hills. What he saw made his blood run cold. Ezekiel stood in a dark clearing, chanting, but not in the name of God. He was calling upon dark spirits. Surrounding him were hidden charms, skulls, and a black pot filled with something too disturbing to describe. Chi Jiok gasped. He had to tell the village. At dawn, he stormed the chief's palace, breathless. "Your Highness! The prophet is a fraud. He serves darkness, not God." The chief frowned. "Do you have proof?" Chi Jiok hesitated. "I saw it with my own eyes." But the prophet, cunning as ever, had sensed trouble. He arrived at the palace before Chi Jiok could gather a crowd. "Your Highness, the enemy is using this young man to destroy the work of God." Ezekiel thundered. "He is possessed." The chief was torn. But an elder, Baba Ease, stepped forward. "There is a way to prove who serves the true God," he said. The final showdown. A great bonfire was built in the center of the village square. The test was simple: whoever could call upon their God to put out the fire would be proven true. Chi Jiok, standing as a witness, prayed. The villagers held their breath. Ezekiel stepped forward. His voice rose in a loud chant. He called, he danced, he shouted, but the fire only grew stronger. Sweat poured down his face. The villagers began murmuring. Then, an old woman in the crowd, the same blind woman who had claimed she was healed, suddenly screamed. "He is a fraud. I was never healed. He paid me to pretend." Gasps filled the air. More confessions followed. The crippled man who walked. A lie. The miracles? All staged. The villagers turned on him. Seize him! The chief commanded. Ezekiel tried to run, but the people grabbed him. He fell to his knees, trembling. It was all for survival, he sobbed. I never meant to harm anyone. But it was too late. The elders declared him banished forever from Aquima. As he was dragged away, the skies rumbled. A heavy storm broke out. And that was the last time anyone saw Prophet Ezekiel. Closing scene. A new dawn rose over Aquima. The people learned a painful lesson that day: not every man who speaks in the name of God is truly sent by him. Faith remained, but wisdom grew stronger. And as for Chijiok, he became the village's greatest warrior, known for his courage in exposing the darkness that once lurked among them.